welcome to the Slip Slip Sis podcast. I'm Che.
I'm Gabz.
And this is our YouTube channel. We're so excited that you're here with us. This is episode 19 of our podcast, verified just a few moments ago. And you can find us on Ravelry as Slip Slip Sis and on Instagram as slip.slip.sis. All that information is going to be down below. I'm coming to you from a very gloomy Southern California.
And I'm actually coming from a very sunny Northern California.
So here we are. We're excited to be with you. And I want to say that's it.
Today is Saturday, March 11th, 2023. I realized when I watch back old other people's podcasts that I want to know what day it is. And YouTube doesn't always say. YouTube just says like 3 years ago or like 2 years ago. So I'm like, we should say.
It's the date. Yep. March 11th. So
Yes.
I have a lot to show, and we've learned Gabz has more to show than we thought she did. So I think we should jump right in. Do you want to start with the ones that the same FO we have?
We actually need to announce our latest designs.
Oh my God,
we
sorry,
haven't
Gabz.
chatted about those yet. And oh shoot, I wore both of the designs, so neither of them are clean. So you're gonna have to pop in a picture, check. Which is your favorite
I hate that. Okay, go ahead.
So Chaylee and I were part of the Makers of Color Collective calendar for the 2023 calendar year.
Can I just go get mine?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Shall I?
I'll be back.
So the Makers of Color calendar is not hosted, but like put together by Brittany, who's Not Bad Brit on Instagram, and we applied it's getting close to 2 years now, 2 years ago, and we got 2 things accepted to the calendar. We got a pair of socks accepted as well as a shawl, and then the calendar came out and it was published as a collection of I think 24 knit and crochet patterns. So you can purchase them at different stockists. You can go to the Makers of Color Collective calendar and .com and figure out where you can get the calendar, or you can get them individually on Ravelry. And ours just came out. We got the rights to our pattern back, and these are our A Little Bit of This socks. My husband actually helped collaborate these, so he is so stoked on them. He's so pleased. We had 750 downloads on Ravelry because we were offering it for free for the first week. I think you may have missed that. Sorry about that. Which is why you should follow us on Instagram, because that's where you find out most of those things. So my husband designed these. He takes all the credit for pointing in a stitch guide of let's put those together. And then of course I did all the math, knit it up, had to do all that stuff, but he designed them. So he's stoked on it. It's great. They're cute. We've seen a couple different versions. These are Chaylee's. Give us the details, Che.
So the yarn that I used, I fully have worn these because that's dirt. The yarn for these is silk from Yarn Cafe Creations. It's actually a Stellina. You can kind of see the gold coming through there. And Gabz, her original, I believe, she did them as shorties. I did them as longies. And then I chose the toe option where it's just a stockinette toe. Gabz also has a version of the pattern where the really cool cabling goes through the toe as well. And so I love these. I think I've been holding on to these for, it feels like, millennia. And so I think it's super, super cute.
Yeah, they're pretty easy. They look a little bit complicated, but they're super easy and they're pretty straightforward. So you can pick those up on Ravelry. Our other design is our first and only shawl design. That my sister will unfortunately have to pop a picture in of herself wearing them with a much shorter haircut, because this was back in the summer of 2021 where I made my sister be my model because I was pregnant with Eleanor, but I wasn't ready to announce that I was pregnant with Eleanor yet. So Chaylee had to be my model. So it's a triangle shaped shawl. It's got a bunch of texture. It's pretty cool. I think that might actually still be available for free on Ravelry if this comes out before Wednesday. If not, sorry. Follow us on Instagram. We do
I'll get
sales.
on it.
We do sales and stuff like that. And if you've been watching for a bit, we're definitely going to have a sale when my little girl Eleanor gets teeth because oh my gosh, we've been waiting so long. She is 14 months old and still does not have teeth. So I know everyone's waiting with bated breath to see if Eleanor gets teeth. So follow us on Instagram. That's really how you find out the most up-to-date pattern sales, all of those things. The whole calendar is really cool. Chaylee doesn't have hers yet though, because we didn't get to go see each other at the Rose City Yarn.
Not still bitter.
Nah, not us. So check this out on our Ravelry and follow us on Instagram to see all the versions of those socks.
Now FOs.
Yeah.
Same FO?
Yeah, hold on. Mine aren't on the blockers because I didn't realize we hadn't shown them already.
I guess we'll all just wait.
Bam. Some
so these, if you've been following us through our journey here, you might have seen a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, we dropped 2 different vlogs same weekend because we didn't get to go to the Roasted Yarn Crawl. So check out those vlogs where we talk about, and also probably the podcast from that weekend where we talk about starting these socks that we then raced on. Ready, Gabz?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
Wow, these don't look the same.
So these are our not the Yarn Crawl socks or Yarn Crawl sub socks that we did because our plan for the Yarn Crawl was on day 1 to get the same yarn so that we could do socks while we were traveling, and alas, that did not happen. So we went through our stashes and picked a yarn that we both had, and this is a Pacific Northwest dyer. So this is Rebel Woolworks, and the colorway is Dreams. Rebel Woolworks isn't dyeing anymore, unfortunately, but we actually held it double because we both got fingering weight, and these were our DK socks where, you know, if you've again been with us for a bit, we always race when we do things because it is never not a competition. And so we raced on how we could get these done. And we had quite a few folks chime in on who they thought won the race and who they thought posted first. And the correct answer was I posted first and won, but also because I stayed up until like 11:30 at night. I was super sick too and was like,
it was a not good decision for her health at all. And just to be clear, you don't win anything when we race. Like we don't play for money. We don't play for nothing. There's no like, and and does it make us compete any less? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, it makes me nervous when she's ahead of me because then I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what have I been doing with my life?
Yeah, I stopped knitting around 9 o'clock because my hands were hurting. I also got a little bit way late because I had to make dinner. That was
you had pulled ahead a bit.
I was ahead for a hot set because I have smaller feet. And I think I knit like a slight hair faster than Shaylee does, but I had messed up my cast on, so I was behind. And then Shaylee was sick, so she was knitting slower anyway. But then I had to make dinner, and I was making risotto, so it wasn't just like a pop it in the oven situation. It was like stirring, so that didn't go that great. And then I had to like help bathe my children and things like responsibilities. And then I stopped knitting at 9, was like, it'll be fine. And then Shay's like, I'm done. And it's like 11:45. I'm like, nice. I finished the next day.
I think I did them in a day.
We both finished them in under 24 hours, like from cast on to cast off for both socks. It also coincided with Lolo did its sock weekend challenge, and then we won a prize for that. I don't have the prize though because it hasn't come yet. It's coming. It was supposed to come today, but now the tracking says Monday, so boo. But that's okay. So we won a prize. That was thrilling. So when it comes, we'll show you.
You want to go next?
Yeah, I don't have that many. I like these. I didn't even know these were my. I thought we'd shown these buddies to you. I went to Stitches West last weekend, so if you haven't seen that vlog, you should check it out. Stitches West was so fun. Taylor didn't get to go, but I'm making her come with me next year because it was good. It was kind of low key, but better than kind of hectic. So I'm trying to put socks on socks blockers. That's what's
Oh my
happening.
God, Gabs, I forgot to, I totally had like a dream about us being at a yarn convention.
Did we win prizes and have unlimited spending money?
I know, but I was being very indecisive about what I wanted to buy.
Interesting.
It was very, I fully forgot about this until this moment. Continue on.
So, my only true FO is a pair of socks for one of our mom's friends. It's a very like they're friends. We like Mrs. Johnson. This is for their first Mrs. Johnston, who I'm trying to explain this relationship. Mrs. Johnston's daughter, Megan, was Chaley's friend, is Chaley's friend from kindergarten. But Mrs. Johnston's twins, Megan and William, also were in our mom's first grade class because our mom's a former first grade teacher. And Mrs. Johnston's older daughter, Katie, was also in the high school band with me because Katie is a year younger than me. So we've like known the Johnstons forever. Mrs. Johnston like is she's at my wedding, baby shower. Mrs. Johnston's the one that like Chaley got dropped off to when anything was going crazy and Chaley needed to be watched with like my health and stuff. It was like Mrs. Johnson will take care of Chaley for an indeterminate amount of time and it will be fine. And we're just going to drop Chaley there because of all my eye surgeries and stuff like that. So Chay just gets dropped there when it's the thing. So Mrs. Johnston found our everybody cut loose sock pattern, which Chaley will drop below. I also don't have that because I wore them yesterday to show you. So they're these hot orange socks that Mrs. Johnston fell in love with and really wanted. So then Chaley knit them
I gotta
for
get a
Mrs.
piece of
Johnston.
paper to write this down.
And then Mrs. Johnston loved them and she wears them only on special occasions. Like she wore them to meet Katie, her daughter's in like in-laws and like so she's got this one pair of hand knit socks that she's saving and hoarding. But we're like, no, socks are meant to be worn. So mom asked if we could make another pair of socks for Mrs. Johnson. So that's what I've done since Chaley made the first pair. I'm up for the second pair. So there it came out so cute.
Oh, cute.
So these are the pair of socks for Miss. I cranked them on my sock knitting machine and then I knit the heels, toes, and cuffs on them. So the body of the sock is done on Destination Yarns Lotus Lantern Festival. This was her colorway that was inspired by the Seoul Olympics. This was actually one of the first colorways I saw of Destination Yarn when we discovered her back in like 2018 at Stitches. And then this orangey gold color is from Earl Grey Fiber Company's The Office Advent. I love The Office, and the colorway is I'll have the gabagool, which I think is a little, I'm one of those Office fans who rewatched it like 6 times. In The Office is like 15 years old, and yeah, it's still relevant in my life. So these are the socks. I think she's gonna really like them. Turns out she likes really bright colors, which isn't the vibe I got from Mrs. Johnston, but apparently color is in her soul. So we tried to have some like bright pops of color going on for that.
Nice. Okay, so I don't think I showed these, so I'm pretty confident. These are what I am affectionately calling my Piglet and Eeyore socks. And so I did these in the Crazy Sock Lady's 2-striping technique. She has a tutorial on YouTube, here on YouTube. And I use Lydia yarn for this. It was a sock twist set, and there's no name for it. It was a like limited edition non-repeatable sock twist. So I think these are my favorite colors, as you can kind of tell by my home. So I love these pink and gray. I alternated on which one obviously was the heel toe cuff, and so these are just so cute. I feel like they're a little bit Eastery as well, so I'm very pleased with these ones. Tell me yes.
I have my one tiny granny square.
Oh, I also have one too, so I'll just keep going.
Yes.
And then I also I think this was the same weekend where I was in my pit of sadness and sickness. And so I did these other DK
Yeah, you passed them on.
I did, right?
Yeah.
So these were an experiment because as if you've again been watching for a bit, we know I am on a DK kick in 2023. And so I thought I would do an experiment with self-striping, just fingering yarn, but holding that with a solid. And this is kind of the effect that I got. So I used Knit Picks Stroll Fingering for the solid, just in white. And then the self-striping is Knit Picks Felici, and it is called Rustic Cabin. And so these are very soft, because if you've used Knit Picks before, very, very soft, kind of plushy, and especially when it's DK. So I think this was a ton of fun, because not only was it DK, but it's also self-striping. So I think I also finished these in like 24 hours, because it just, in my mind, went really, really fast. So yeah. And apparently we're on another theme again, because we're in theme land for socks this year. I have another pair of striped socks to show you. And these were from, well, I was supposed to do it with Gabz this summer, but my summer really got away from me. We had bought these different colorways from Always Be Kind yarn, and it was kind of like I want to say, like, not promotion isn't the word, but it was a fundraiser of some sort for the ends. Let me try this again. Always Be Kind Yarn was working with Gary Knits and Gary Rides for the end aids, knit along and crochet along. And Always Be Kind Yarn is a great dyer where always the proceeds, or a part of the proceeds from the yarn, always goes to a great nonprofit charity. Typically it's like the Trevor Project. And so these were going, for this particular time we bought it, was going to, is it End AIDS, or the AIDS Foundation. And you're supposed to do a knit along or crochet along with a particular pattern. Gabz did it, crushed it, nailed it. It never happened for me. So the yarn had just been sitting on my shelf, because Gabz had ordered the yarn for us, and then she brought it to Hawaii to give it to me. And so she very kindly, and she and Lottie, her child, my niece, pre-caked it for me. And that little girl must have a strong grip or something, because that was the most taut ball of yarn I had ever, like, I could not pull the center out of it. And I was like, this yarn's gonna snap. So it almost, I've never done a sock blank before, but because I had left it for so long too, and it was taut, it was like a little crinkles. And so I just reballed it, and it was totally fine. But it was a nice, firm, round shape, perfect. But I was having trouble with it, and that was my own fault for leaving it there for so long. But these are my socks that I made with it, and I wanted to spice it up a little bit. So I just did some simple 3x1 ribbing for my socks. So I did a 2x2 knit 2, purl 2 cuff, and then I did knit 3, purl 1 for the rest of it, except in between those rows I just did like a regular knit row. So it'd be like ribbing row, knit row, and then on the foot I did only the ribbing on the top of the foot, not on the bottom. And I tried my best to do yarn management.
Did you try and line them up?
I did, but I missed a little bit, because you can see
that happens to me every darn time.
I don't know how I missed by this much, because the top looks right, but you know.
See, I'm not positive like it's you. Well, it is you, but like I think it might be your gauge. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, like I think it's my gauge that I get kind of like crazy at the end of knitting the second sock.
Oh, I was off though, because you can see even the like heel was off.
Oh,
I was just off. But this is the colorway is the Pride flag. I've lost my tag for it. It's somewhere. It's like the Pride, I think it's the Pride Ally colorway.
Yes.
And I chose the option where you could have a pink mini skein. Are we surprised? So I'm really happy with these. These were super fun to knit, because again, the self-striping always makes it go fast. Plus the ribbing made it like spicy for me. Okay, now I'm ready for our tiny, tiny finished object that we both have. I'll just hold mine up while you chit chat about it. Ready?
So I found this, I'll get mine too. I found I guess it's kind of like knit along, but it's not really a crochet along. With that's hosted by Crafter, which is like you get craft boxes. It's not just knitting, it's like candle making and leather work and all these other craft things, handcrafts. And they're hosting a give. It's not a give. I don't know how to explain it. So I'm just gonna tell you.
I'm gonna go with promotion.
Promotion. You gotta crochet a granny square. Then you mail the granny square to the San Diego Rescue Mission, which so they're going to put the granny squares together to make blankets for the unhoused community, specifically those living with HIV/AIDS. So when you do that, you like include your name and your email address, like a little like post-it thingamajiggy, and then you mail it, and then you earn a $10 gift card to their website. We would have sent the granny squares anyway without the gift card, but that's a fun incentive. And then you're entered to win some kind of grand prize, whatever. So I found it last night and told my dad and sister. Then dad, of course, finished his granny square like first thing because that dude wakes up at 5 a.m. So he was done. And then I was like, oh shoot. So then here I go crocheting. And then of course, Chaylee cannot be left out. And she had to work today. So I'm sure she was feeling pressure because she was last.
Whatever.
Yeah, she's probably like, I have a stupid job. Rest of you aren't doing anything today.
I was doing service at the special games for our community members with disabilities. And I was like, I should be crocheting my granny square right now.
So you can send as many crochet granny squares as you like. The stipulations are it should be on a 4mm or a 5mm hook. And
I didn't read that instruction.
And it should be 6 rounds. And then you can do any weight of yarn that you want. My goal is, and it's due by March 31st. It has to be postmarked by March 31st. So I'm going to try and do 2 or 3 more, send them along. You should do it too. So you can enter to win the grand prize also because it's cold and wet. And
where does it say you have to do the hook size?
I don't know. Maybe it was on a post or somebody comment or something.
Huh. Minimum of 1 6-round granny square. Multiple squares are welcome. All size, colors, and yarn types are welcome.
Huh. Maybe it was somebody's comment. I don't know. I did a 4.5mm. We're good.
Well, I think I did a 3.75.
Fine. That'll be fine. So what yarn did you use for your granny square type?
I used Cocoa Beach from
Is this the Old Salt Company?
I don't think it's Salt. Hold on.
Old
Soul Fiber Company.
The one that we won also in another giveaway.
Yeah.
We like prizes.
Yeah.
So Chaylee, yours is fingering weight.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is worsted weight. This is acrylic. You can't see it well because it's brown. It is, I can't fix it either. It's just brown. It's Heartland. It's Lion Brand yarn. I had some leftovers, so I'm going to do hopefully a couple more of that, and I've got a couple more worsted weight leftovers as well. Because I figured it would be helpful to have some that you could wash, because if you're unhoused, it's a little bit, washing machine facilities are a little bit tricky.
Awesome.
Also washing blankets, as all of us who watch Nitty Natty, washing machines are tricky on handmade items sometimes. As all my socks are in the washing machine, and I'm hoping they hold up. That's okay. It. I have no other finished objects. I swear I've been knitting every night. I don't know what's going on with me.
I have 3 whips.
Me too.
Okay.
You can go.
Oh, great. Okay, I'll go. Well, let's do the one together that we have same whip.
Oh, I was like, what whip do we have this?
So mine is in my musubi bag that my sister made for me.
Mine is in this bag that I got from the $5 section at Target.
And we are making, this is our sock swap, our March sock swap. And the pattern for this month was Follow Your Path by the Crazy Sock Lady. And so we have both finished one sock. Gabz is nearly done with hers, which again, it makes me feel a little bit stressed, but also I'm okay with this a little bit. So this is my one that Gabz gave me. And the yarn from this is Maine Yarn and Fiber Supply, and the colorway is Roller Rink.
So mine is self-striping and is I followed the pattern. Shaylee did a different heel for hers. I did an Eye of Partridge heel in the pattern as written. Shaylee did her traditional slip stitch heel. This is in Mani Petty from Joann's, Shaylee Michaels, something like that. It's a big box store. And I think the colorway is called Boot. Like, maybe? Colored number is 601.
Dude,
I don't know. There's no color. Shaylee usually names them for me if there isn't a color, but she didn't do that this time.
That's on sale.
And I don't know. She doesn't know either what the mini is either. But I'm planning on entering these into the Pisces season make along, which I can't remember who's hosting it, but they host it every year for that because you have to do something in like blues and greens. So Shaylee, how far are you on yours?
Oh, my second one?
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
Okay, I think it's really beautiful as the sock. I'm not really feeling inspired by this one, and it's not in an easy count for me. So yeah.
I'm with ya. It looks nice. Like it looks nice. It's written well. It's written well. I'm not enjoying the process of knitting it. Like it's feeling like a slog to do it. So I'm knitting on it right now to try and make it be in a better spot so I can hold it up in a second because I'm in the middle of the heel turn, so I'm trying to make it through the decreases like I did just right now. Okay. See, I'm here on mine.
Oh, that's good. You're in a good spot.
Yeah, I just finished the heel decrease. But look, something bad happened. Something bad happened. Look at these colors. It's supposed to go purple, then light green, but it goes purple, then dark green. But then down here goes purple, like, I don't know, whatever, I'm gonna wear them. But something funny happened in the yarn. I think they may have been a join that I didn't notice, but it's fine. They're going to be on my feet. And I did not attempt to line them up at all. I probably should have. And if I had lined them up, I probably wouldn't have this funny green thing, but I didn't do that. So it's fine. That's it. That's all I got for it, Jay.
Okay. Well, I'll go then, I suppose. I'll do the one that I'm working on. So I finished the rainbow socks I showed earlier. I finished them like literally last night. And so because I wasn't feeling entirely inspired by our Follow Your Path socks, I decided I deserved, actually, that's a better word. I deserved to cast on a pair of DK socks. So I did. And I have another bag by Gabz. This is my Rugrat bag. This was from a set of 3. This is my medium sized bag from her. And the yarn, I'm just doing a vanilla DK sock. This is one of the stitch markers that I commandeered my sister's brother-in-law to make for me. And look at this cutie McGee. Here's what the entire yarn looks like. And it is actually the imperfect Party Like It's 2023 colorway from Hypnotic Yarn. So this was, I believe it might actually have been the Yarnable for January for this year. And I signed up for Yarnable in January, so I didn't get the January color. I was kind of bummed because like, look how cute. And so Cheryl of Hypnotic Yarn does a section on her website where it's like her perfectly imperfect colorways. It's just the ones that don't quite come out exactly how she wanted it. And I was like, looks pretty dang perfect to me. And so not only did I get to have the colorway, but I got the colorway at a massive discount because it wasn't, exactly right. But it was exactly right for Chaley. So it is on the platinum DK base. So it is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And these are going to be DK socks. And the new thing I'm doing, Gab, since we talked about like, what are you doing with your DK scraps? I am putting all the ones that end up being pink or of the pink family into a project bag, and I'm going to make DK scrappy socks when I have enough scraps. So that is what I'm working on right now.
I like it. I'm shocked that you did pink DK socks. Like, who saw that coming?
Whatever.
All right, I'll do the one that I'm working on. I'm working on, which is why I've made no progress on finished objects, obsessively working on this Cozy Memories blanket. I'm having such a good time with it. Because for me, it feels like I've finished every square because you like bind off. So I'm like, look at all the progress I made. So I'm on my third row of my Cozy Memories blanket, and it's actually coming along pretty great. It's I'm also learning as I put my scraps in what colors I knit with, right? Like you're seeing your projects all together. So I'm seeing like obviously there's a strong purple vibe, but there's also this like grayish vibe that I didn't realize I was doing. But
kind
I'm
of
obviously
amber colors too, like amber.
Yeah. Which I would never say if you asked me like, hey Gabs, do you like amber? I'd be like, no, not really. But then clearly it's there in a lot of places.
What's that green from?
This hot green is from my round and round cowl that I made last year.
Was I around for this?
Yeah, it was the first project I made after I had Eleanor.
It's gone from me.
Well, anyway, so I'm right here, and this is Aunt Jenny Makes, so I actually know what the yarn is. And then this is Dragon Heart yarn or Yarn Cafe Creations because it's from the advent calendar they used to make or I used to purchase. So I'm having a great time with this. It is currently 12 by 12. It's 12 across, but I think it needs to be 15 across. So I'm going to have to whoop in some on the end because I want it to be 12 by 15 is what I think.
But why don't you just make 15 up?
Oh, because I think because of the way the diagonals go, I think it'll look nicer if it's wider. I thought about that, but then as I kept going, I was like, nah, I really need to add. My goal is to do one strip a month, and then I should be done by the holidays, right? Because if I whoop in these extra 9 that I have to, and March is the third month, and I'm on the third row, then we're good, right? So then it's 15 squares a month, which seems reasonable because then it's, there's wiggle room.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing. In that interim, I've also been making Chaley a magic knot ball because we're doing a magic knot ball swap at the end, towards the end of the year. And I'm having an obsession with making the magic knot ball, which is why I keep knitting the squares so I have extra yarn to put in this magic knot ball for my sister. Because I think we're gonna make the bits and bobs blanket because we swap yarn a lot all the time. Anyway, but I kind of want to mix up what we're swapping so it's not always the same thing. So like next year we're swapping mini skeins for socks and this bits and bobs situation. Remember mini skeins?
Yeah, I think I misunderstood the prompt because I thought we just needed to pick yarn that fit for the sock patterns we had selected.
Yeah. Most of them are mini skeins. We're fine. We'll sort this out behind the scenes. And then when time comes, it will be perfect, or Gabz will have forgotten a portion of the prompt and I'll have to fudge the pattern for check. One of the two. It's fine. This is why we have day jobs, Chai.
Yeah, gosh. Slightly disorganized. Me?
Yeah.
You're gonna be so proud of me. Because what we've been toting along in our float tote from the Nitty Natty is my something cozy. But look, that's the whole back.
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
Yeah. So I did the ML No, I can get up instead of laying down.
Your sleeves are gonna be like this, dude.
I know, right? So I don't actually have to do that much work on it. So I did the medium and large, and I did the full 18 inches you were supposed to do because I was here. I think I misunderstood the construction of it, and I tend to have bulkier shoulders, so I was concerned that it would be too small. But I think I'll be good.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be too small for your shoulders, dude.
Yeah, but that means I only have to do like that much, right?
Those are gonna be T-Rex arm style that you have to knit.
Well, I wonder, like, should I make long? Should I do full length? Or should I just, because I also don't really know, like, it might bunch up more, right? When it has to, like,
be on your body.
Be on my body. And I don't know how much of this gets bunched up for the collar. So, yeah, I finished the whole back. And I did start the front. Clearly I've made a lot of progress. It's actually not bad. It does. What am I running? Oh, I'm on my mats. Pardon me. Oh God, it's a mess. Oh, I'm a
Did you roll over it or something with your chair?
I rolled over my blocking mats, but now it's like stuck into the wheel of my rolly chair. So just pardon me while I do some work on this. Excellent. Oh, she's really in there. Okay, I got it. So this is not my smoothest podcast today. But I think it's actually going fast because you don't have to do the full amount, because once you do a certain amount, you start the collar. So then like really spicy. And then once I'm done with the front and the back, then I feel like it's gonna be like done.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be knitting this with her, and I will as soon as I finish my other things that I'm supposed to be doing.
I haven't even gotten to I have 3 skeins of both the boucle and the fingering, and I'm still on skein number 1. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all that extra yarn. But the yarn that I am using for this, the boucle, is Knit Picks Boucle. The colorway is just bare, and I'm holding it with the fingering weight yarn. It is Earl Grey Fiber Company, and the colorway is flannel.
That's gonna be so cozy. I'm so glad it's getting warmer now.
Okay, ideally it would have been perfect for this weekend, right? Like, but I think it's coming along. It kind of reminds me of like snow.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be cute. I'm envisioning it very cute.
I think it'll definitely be a good like winter cozy sitting while doing work kind of thing. But those are all my whips.
All right, I have one more whip to show you, and this is a test knit. This is the Nightshade Society test knit for Tristan Molina. I'm chaotic again with it because currently I've just got like needles popping out of the bag. This is in my Erin Lane bags. It is a stash finder bag, and it's in her fabric print that says "Stitch Please," and it's a little sheep lady holding a wine glass, and she's sassy. So the pattern is a top-down raglan with a high neck collar. So, and I love this colorway. This colorway is Moon Eater, and it's Tristan's colorway. I got it 2 Christmases ago, and it's coming out really cool. It's got this really beautiful like sleeve lace detail. It's pretty complicated.
Wow.
Yeah. So I tried it on. It fits like perfectly. Like it fits exactly how I want it to fit. I adjusted the fit a little bit. Her fit calls for a 2 to 4 inches of positive ease, and I knit it with like 1 inch of positive ease because I learned for me, if I knit something with too much positive ease, then it looks too baggy in the shoulders. So, and I'm also severely cropping this. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to knit 10 inches from the sleeve split to, and then 3 inches of ribbing. I've knit 1 inch from the sleeve split, and I already started the ribbing. because one, I only have 2 skeins of this yarn, and the pattern calls for way more than 2 skeins. It calls for like 4. So I don't have 4 skeins, I got 2. But also, I measured myself and I'm super short-waisted. So it would need to be short anyway, but I want to be able to wear this with a dress. So I need it to be very cropped so that it matches the dress, and it matches this, like it goes in at the narrowest part of my waist instead of
Very
cropping
flattering.
it. Yeah, because if I crop it where somebody's regular waist is, then it wouldn't be the right size for where my waist is, because I'm very, very short waisted. So there's like 4 inches between, like, yeah, there's like 4 inches between where my ribs are and my hip bone start, which most people have like 7. So that's what's happening. So I've cropped it. I'm going to knit. I think I might make the ribbing a little bit longer. So I'm going to knit the ribbing, and then I'm going to knit the sleeves. This isn't due till the end of April. So I'm hoping that that's done. It's coming out real cute though. And I was telling Shaylee that Tristan's pattern designs look best in Tristan's yarn, which makes sense to me, right? So, but I've never knit them in her yarn, and I put it on and I was like, oh, this is the dark, moody vibe that you can, like, if you want that same dark, moody vibe of her pictures, then if you use her yarn, it somehow works out way better. But, you know, knit with whatever the heck you want to knit with, because I've knit her stuff with neons and it was fine too. My rune is, yeah, nope. Is that rune?
Yeah, rune.
My rune is like neon green, and I still love rune as well. And we've done it in many other colors, but I think this is a good vibe for, because Nightshade Cat Society is from Wednesday, right? So it's perfect for the Wednesday dark, scary, spooky vibe.
Gothic.
Yes. So I'm really excited with it. The yarn's really lovely to work with. Hopefully it's done by the next podcast, because I have 2 design commissions that I have to work on.
Woofda.
Yeah.
All right. Stuff we got.
I have no acquisitions that haven't already been shown. This is where Traley is going to link the videos up above our heads, because
I
she
don't know
will.
how to do that. I'm not gonna
You don't know how to do
I
that?
don't do that.
Oh yeah.
That's why I never do that.
Traley, well,
I
you're
don't
gonna
know
have to look on our channel, because Trey don't know how
It
to
looks
do
like
it.
you're gonna have to like and subscribe.
Yeah, so
channel.
I got my Erin Lane bag, nope, Destination Lane bags, February bag. And I also, oh, I do have my Spooky Kooky, but you can show that. We'll call that good. I have the Destination Lane bags unboxing video, where you can check out what my Destination Lane bag was. And I also have the Stitches West vlog, where you can see all the things that I purchased at Stitches West. Those are my only acquisitions, except for the one that Trey's going to show you as part of her acquisitions. Ready?
Okay. Do you want me to start with the Portland things?
Yeah.
Or just where I'm at, what's on top?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. We're gonna start with what's on top, because I'm a mess and they're obviously at the bottom. So if you have seen, I did a United Skeins of America video where I'm trying to collect a yarn from a dyer from every single state. It is not contingent upon me visiting every state, just that the dyer has to be from that state and dyed. It was dyed in that state. So I have sent out my
What is it, like yarn ravens, like it's Game of Thrones?
Yes, I sent out my yarn ravens. And so like the yarn my sister gave me for this March happened to be from Maine, and I didn't have Maine. And then one of my coworkers was going to New York over spring break, and he did not have New York. So I sent him off to look for a place, and I found him some yarn stores, but then unfortunately like wasn't close to where he was staying. So then he found one that was like maybe like 7 blocks away. So he just trotted on over, and he said they were the nicest people ever. The store is Nitty City in New York City. And he said he walked in, he was like, hello, I'm here to get yarn for my friend, and it needs to be not brown, fingering, or DK, and it has to be a New York dyer. And the shop owner was like, you got it. And she starts pulling down like boxes, like bins of yarn. She's like, here you have Manhattan. Here you have Manhattan again. Here you have the Bronx and kind of Manhattan. And so she pulls out all these options for him. She's like, here's this one. And she's like working with my friend on this. And then she finally pulls out the one. He's like, that's the one. She's like, are you sure? He's like, yes. And commits to it. And he was like, they were so wonderful. And I truly appreciate them taking so much time to help my friend. He only bought this one skein of yarn for me, but they're very much so willing to help him find the perfect yarn. So I got this beautiful yarn.
Oh, that's great. That is the
right.
One. That's a good one.
It is called 5 Borough Yarns. Look at that. You have the cityscape there. It is hand dyed in New York. The colorway is unicorn hair. It is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon classic DK, again from Knitty City, which is in New York City. So I am so like happy and just thrilled by this yarn. Okay, so now I'm going to save the Yarnable for last because there's a lot of stuff attached with that. So my first purchase, or the first purchase I'll show from our Portland Yarn Crawl weekend that we didn't get to go to, in case you didn't know that, is what I bought from Starlight Knitting Society. So Gabz and I did do the crawl virtually, and we shopped some of the stuff that they had, and we did some of their trunk shows and got some of their kind of exclusive items. So that was exciting. So I got the Starlight Knitting Society shirt from this year because the theme for the yarn crawl was magic. So it is their typical logo, but on a unicorn, and she's knitting on a unicorn. And I think that's just fabulous. I love this color too. I got I picked a size that would be oversized for me so that it would be like a comfy and like cozy up knitting shirt. So I am just so thrilled and have been wanting to wear this since I ordered it, but I was saving it for the podcast. And also from Starlight Knitting Society, they were doing a trunk show from Junk Yarn. And so I did get, this wasn't actually technically listed as part of the trunk show, but it was like one of their colorways of junk yarns that they had. And so I got this one, and this is their pin from, look how cute that is with the unicorn. The pin from,
yeah, that's cute,
the yarn crawl, because they do pins at every single store that you go to, and so they sent it to us, you know, because you ordered it from the yarn crawl. I am so excited about this one because I have been wanting one of Junk Yarn's yarns from their Barbie collection, and I finally got one. This one is called Boss Barbie. So plus, you know, it's pink and we love pink, so I got this one as well. And then the one that Gabz was mentioning that we both got, which please do check out our vlog so you can hear 2 different versions of the same story of how we got this yarn. This is our Teal Torch Knits. This was the show colorway. It is called Spooky Kooky Besties. Here is the pin from Weird Sisters, who Teal Torch Knits was doing their trunk show at Weird Sisters. And so we were able to snag the last 2 DK of these, spoilers, and that weren't pre-order. So super pleased with these. This is on their DK base 75-25 superwash merino. I think Gabz is making a cowl with flowers, and I'm going to make socks. Raise your hand if you're surprised.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, this is too cute to be socks. Like, I can't let them be underneath my shoes. Like, I need to wear this. I also am embracing my eclectic drama teacher vibes, where I realize that you have to be a little ethereal and wear kind of loud, crazy stuff. Because when you're a performing arts teacher, you got to have that, like, you either have to be like super grunge and wear all black all the time, or you're kind of like, you know, floaty.
Avant-garde, if you will.
Yeah, there's a vibe. There's the vibe. If you're like, if you think a drama teacher, you're like, yeah, like that. So it's really pretty. And I met the dyer at Stitches West, and she was so nice. Her booth at Stitches West was beautiful, like perfectly amazing booth. She had, I think I got it in the vlog, but if you didn't, you should check out her Instagram, because she had a rainbow wall, and she had crop tops, like knit crop tops in all the colors of the rainbow. And they're like hot neon. So it was like a hot neon red and then pink. And then it was great. It looked really cool. She's super nice. I mean, everyone at Stitches was super nice, but still, you should check her out. I think she has an advent, and I'm like, yeah. So we're like,
I want
advents have gotten pricey lately though. So we're
yeah.
being judicious with it. What else is this? That can't be everything.
Nah, girl, calm down. Sit back, get
That
comfy.
can't be it.
Get comfy, Gabs. Because also in my here's like I shop when I'm sad, and I was sad we didn't get to go on our trip. But I also wanted to check some things off my list, and so I just was scrolling around on my phone, and I saw that Legacy Fiber Arts was having some discounted skeins as well, and so I got this one because Legacy Fiber Arts is out of I want to say Connecticut, but that doesn't feel right. I have my list, but definitely Legacy Fiber Arts. Maybe it's Massachusetts.
No, I think it's Massachusetts.
I think it's Massachusetts. Actually, now I'm thinking about this. It's one of the states that I needed. And so I was looking through it and I was wanting my DK. And then I stumbled upon this yarn. And as you know, Gabz is a drama teacher, but I'm also a theater kid as well. And I wasn't in this show, but this was a show that Gabz has now done twice in her career. So this yarn is Audrey 2, which is from Little Shop of Horrors. And I'm like, well, I need to have this because then once I'm done with my scraps, I will give it to my drama teacher sister and she'll be like, oh my God, it's so great. And probably have forgotten that I bought this. And then when she gets it, we'll be thrilled.
Yeah, because Little Shop is amazing.
I think this is so pretty too, because I feel like it's like not overpoweringly like plants. But I think it's going to be super cute colorway. And of course, DK 7525, perfect for socks. Yeah. Okay. Yarnable time. So I did get my Yarnable for the month of March, and I was shocked, I must say, because they feel like typically with March you get like maybe a spring vibe, but you also oftentimes like ends up being like a St. Patty's Day theme. And from the sneak peek picture, I was getting like really very like clear like Kelly greens, and that is not what I got. What I'm actually
that's what I thought it was, because I don't get Yarnable, but I look at all the sneak peeks
and I was thrilled. And she actually went with, because I feel like Cheryl goes with Yarnable is a subscription that you can get. Actually, spots are open now. She has very limited spots open, and if you sign up through her newsletter, you can also get a $5 off coupon. And so she usually does like a theme for the box. And this one was like more of like a tropical vacation theme, which I thought was kind of cool. Some other nice things. So I got another tape measure, but this one's kind of like it's a metal one.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like the kind that Dad uses to measure stuff, So I'm legit in construction here with my little tape measure with my Yarnable branding on it. And then you got another one of these. They're called Swedish washcloths. So it's like a reusable paper towel, if you will. And so I have another one. It's like a little foxes or little sheepies. And this one is little skeins of yarn, which I think is super duper cute. This actually works perfect for some of my crafts that I do. And then you got this really cool, which is totally ideal for me in my job since I travel a lot, a travel pack. Isn't this great? So you get Hawaiian shampoo, Hawaiian conditioner, ocean spray, foaming salt scrub, and the tropics face mask.
That's
and
cool.
It is all vegan. So I think this is really cool. And I'm excited. Like so I might save it for our trip, Gabz, which we can talk about in news. So we can try this stuff together. And then the yarn, right? That's the last thing. Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm looking at you. I'm doing ribbing, so I can look at you and knit.
Ready?
Yeah. Whoa, that's not Kelly green. That's hot.
It's more minty, actually. It's like a hot mint.
Yeah.
Is not something I was expecting, but I'm very pleased with this, and I think this will be super cute. The colorway is called Rest, Relax, Recharge, and don't I hear that? So I'm so excited about this one. I already saw the April one, and it is nice. So
she sent it to me. That one's good.
It's gonna be cute, cute, cute. So I'm deep in like all of my yarn and all the things. So it's looking up, if you will. In terms of news, Gabs and I'm just gonna talk about our travel plans if that's okay. So of course, in our sadness, Gabs is excellent researcher. And so I don't read anything really ever. Gabs does all the reading. She does, some investigation, some critical reflection and discernment, very Jesuit, but I was the one who's Jesuit educated, but whatever. um, so Gabs found us this really cool thing that we're going to do, and I'll let you say it because you found it, so you should get the credit.
So we are going to the Wine Country Yarn Crawl, which is wine country in California, is up by like Napa area, Napa, Sonoma, Santa Rosa. It's just north of San Francisco. So we are going to the Wine Country Yarn Crawl because Chaley and I were sad about Portland. And with both of our schedules, it's really tricky to like get it lined up in terms of like what's going on. Chaley's got a busy season for she's an admissions counselor. And for me, because I'm the drama teacher, like if I'm leading up to putting on the musical, I can't be going places, like things come up because I am kind of a one woman show when I put up the musical and then make my family help me. But so we needed something in July. That was what we really needed because July was the month. June, we're going to Colorado together with my family. And then August, get this, y'all, I start school August 2nd. I'm a public school teacher.
That ain't it.
Not year round. That shouldn't be. So August was done, right? Like I can't go anywhere the first, like trying to get back into teaching. That's too hard. So we found something. It's like the second-ish week of July. It's July 14th, 15th, and 16th in California because that's way easier for us and way more cost effective if we're doing California because we don't have to worry about as tricky time flights, right? The flights are more affordable and we don't lose time on either end because of time zones. So Chaley has to fly up.
I'm sorry. She said we don't have to worry about flights. And I was like,
well, you can drive.
One of us does have to fly in for this.
But it's not too true. It's not like it's
it's a 40-minute flight.
Yeah, it's not like it's a 3-hour flight and we cross a couple time zones. It's a little hopping flight to the Bay Area, which Chaley takes many, many times to come for work and to come home. So Chaley's gonna fly in. And there's 5 yarn stores that we're going to go to. And then I did some research based on last year's, and it looks like the first like 10 or so people at each yarn store each day get prizes. So Che and I are, of course, like, okay, so we're gonna have to get there first thing in the morning. So I'm gonna drive from my house in San Jose to San Leandro to get my sister. And then Chaley's gonna drive my car because I'm not that good of a driver. Up to Sonoma so we can be the first in line. And Chaley's planned some additional exciting things. I do the research and read things. Chaley sets the plan. So Chaley, tell them our bonus activities.
Yes. So our first day, we're going to mainly focus on the yarn crawl, just because the one that we're going to first is up there, y'all.
Oh, in Ukiah.
It's up there in Ukiah. And I was like, we're just going to mad dash up there and hope that if other people are coming to the Bay, they're not going to want to do that. So that's our strategy for getting our prizes. I'll focus on the yarn crawl, maybe because we're staying in Santa Rosa, which is cute, kind of little small town, not too small, so there's a lot to do. Futz around there for the first day. But our second day, that means if we've done 3 stores on the first day, we only actually have 2 that we have to do for that second day. And I'm going to have us end in Sonoma because our afternoon activity will be going to the Sonoma Cheese Factory, y'all. And I already did some pricing on what we can do for a cheese board. We can also expand, budget permitting. This is also why we're doing it at the end of the trip, because if we want to upgrade to the cheese and charcuterie, we totally can. But if we're we've spent our money on yarn, we'll just do the cheese board for 2. You can tack on the wine tasting, but Gabz doesn't drink, and then that would mean me, the driver, would just be having all of the wine tasting, and I don't think that would go well.
I could drive.
I'd rather not. Um, so we're gonna
You know,
be
it's still
doing
safer
that.
for Chaley who's drunk wine to drive instead of Gabz.
Yes, it's honestly, it's the parking for me with my sister. I can't like
I'm not good at it. I'm
I
not good at it at
you know,
all.
she's brilliant. I adore my sister, but girl cannot park as I'm talking
No,
about you while you're right here.
no, I really can't. That's why in my driveway, I get the best spot in the driveway that's
Just
not
go
next to
in
other things,
and
and
out.
everybody else has to just figure out how to park around Gabz. Because no, the moment my kid is 16, she's driving.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the same
no, we're
thing
just
with our mom. I can't remember the last time my mom had driven me somewhere. I got nothing. Yeah, no. So I'm excited about that. And then so that I'm actually flying up Thursday night. And so we'll do day 1, full day Friday. This is day 2, Saturday, and then day 3, Sunday. Gabz does need to get back down, but we have some time. And actually on our way down, we can cut through an area called Marin County, another super cute, super sweet area. And there's a couple of yarn stores in there. So I'm going to create a couple of like side shoot, our offshoot kind of side yarn stores for us to crawl to on our way back to our parents' house. So that is our plan for that. And I am so excited.
it's gonna be cool and hopefully no snow.
Yeah, snow has really, really put a damper on our plans, but it's July in California. So fingers
Fingers crossed
crossed.
on the wildfire.
Yeah, we're just gonna let that one go. We're gonna think positively and we're gonna manifest this trip. So stay tuned as we get closer to that. And the process for this one is a little bit different. So you do pay a fee to participate in it, but you do get the tote with it. And I think the tote is cute. It has like a little bunny. And
That's last year's
no,
tote,
it said
Haley.
2023, Gabrielle.
Are you sure?
100%.
Okay.
Do you know how many times I had to look at this website to map our itinerary?
I don't even know how much the tote is, Jay.
I don't know either, but we're going. We've committed to this. I've already bought
Yeah.
the tickets and we booked the hotel. So we're very excited about that. And I think that's kind of just like our main thing. I mean, we have a lot going on otherwise, but
Oh, our other knitting thing that we're doing the Knit for Food knit-a-thon. That is on
March
Sunday,
26th.
March 26th. So it's a 12-hour knit-a-thon, and we have reached our fundraising goal.
We did?
So you have to raise $100 to qualify for the like the events, the knitting events. They're on Zoom, it's virtual. And we raised $100. So, and it wasn't just us it wasn't just us donating, it was actual other people. So we are doing that. We're doing it with dad and my mother-in-law. They're both crocheters. So we're going to tag team in terms of all of those things. So if you want to participate, Chaley will put a link below on how to get to the website. Or
Sure.
if you just want to donate to that, you can do that too. There's lots of people doing it. Tony Lipsy of TL Yarn Crafts, she's doing it as well. She's got this huge fundraising goal because she's quite popular. So I think she's raised like $15,000 or something like that. So, we're all just playing for second in this competition, but that's okay. So Knit for Food is a knit-a-thon where it donates to 4 charities that help fight food insecurity. I think 2 are predominantly for children, and then I think the rest are just the general population. So that's really cool. I think I may do an added layer of like all the things I knit that day are going to be donated items as well. So I may be doing like a bunch of granny squares or hats or something like that. So you don't have to donate any of the things you knit, crochet, make, and it's making. So it could be sewing, it could be macrame, embroidery, card making, spinning, painting, making
Lanyards.
yeah, friendship bracelets, whatever you do, all those fun things. I mean, this is mostly a knitting channel. So props to you if you've stuck with us and you're not a knitter and you listen to us babble about knitting. And you're not our mom who watches our channel.
But I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's more. follow us on Instagram and you'll hear about that. But thank you for sticking with us throughout all of the chaos that was this podcast. I'm sorry about that. I'm a mess. And
this is kind of how we are always, though. Let's be real.
this is it. You're looking at it. Well, we appreciate you all. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning, day, night, whenever you're watching this, and we'll see you soon. Bye.